have to be on the road with a motor vehicle, then you're gonna get penalized.
Yep.
You know, if you don't have it driving without insurance, you're gonna get penalized.
Yep.
Without a seatbelt.
Yep.
You know?
you gotta get a license.
Hey, if you don't pay your child support, they'll take your driver's license from you.
Yep.
You know,
You better believe it, Jack.
About to put you on.
They'll take your driver's license, man. Then how you gonna get to work?
Yeah.
How you gonna get a job without a driver's license?
Yeah.
Most of these places won't even hire you without a driver's license. Some places your credit gotta be good. Who got the worst credit, man? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans.
That's right.
But the so-called white men tell you, well, your credit score isn't that good, so we're not gonna be able to hire you.
We got equal opportunity.
But we got equal opportunity employers. Bitch, the word employee means slave.
Hey, and then when you get, if you get locked up and you get a record, you can't even find you a place to live.
No.
They won't tell you, now you didn't pay your debt to society.
Right.
Yep.
You know, you supposed to be rehabilitated. That's why you're on parole. You got to prove that you able to go back into society and function as a civil person.
Yeah.
But then you can't even, you go to the apartment complex or a house, and then they don't want to rent the apartment or the house or give you a lease or mortgage, whatever the case is, because you got a felony, a criminal record. So then when you get back out into society, you can't even function, because once you get a record with the so-called white man, instead of them forgiving you of your debt, they keep that shit shadowing you until you die.
Yep.
You can't get a job,
Nope.
you can't get a place to live, you can't get nothing financed to you.
Nope.
So you just got to go back into the prison system and make it.
And that's what's gonna happen. Jake will get popped. When I say Jake, I mean the descendants of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Jake is a short way we say of saying Jacob. We saying Jake. You know how people do. We got a nickname for everything. You know. So when I say Jake, because I know like upstate, they call the cops Jake. The Jakes is after us. But when we saying Jake, we mean descendants of Jacob, which are descendants of Israel, because Jacob's name was changed to Israel. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, come on, I got it. Jake will be in the hood and can't find a job because, you know, we the last ones hired and the first ones fired. You know, so Jake will be in the hood, and then his only resort is, well, shit, I gotta sell drugs. My child is crying every day. I ain't got no food to give him. I ain't got money to buy nothing. So I'm not giving our people a pass to be wicked. I'm just saying. So our people will sell drugs, then they get popped with the drugs. Then they put you into that system. Now I got a felony on my record. Well, first of all, why am I in this condition? Because our people only think on the surface. Why am I in this condition in the first place? How did I get here? You can chalk that up to the so-called white man. We didn't, like the brothers say all the time, we didn't come over here on no pleasure cruise. We came over here on cargo slave ships against our will. Then these goddamn white people always talking, why don't you go back to Africa? I didn't ask to come here. Shit. Did I ask to come here?
To Africa.
That's not our home.
And that's another point, you know, which we not Africans. But that's something the so-called white man said, y'all are African Americans.
Only the ones here, but you go, which I done been, so Europe and the upper echelon, so they people, they know that the Africans and us are different. They'll come straight out and tell you that. The ones over in England and Ireland and all that, they know that we're not Africans and all.
Right.
They'll tell you that. In Australia, they know, but these dumb crackers that live over in America, they'll say that.
Right.
They don't know shit.
Right. You know, so.
How did they get the credit?
That's the whole point. Go ahead,
yeah,
brother.
no, you gotta go.
And that's the whole point. How do we get the drugs? To sell. We ain't, like they said in that movie, we ain't got no planes, we ain't got no trains, we ain't got boats, we ain't got shit. We can barely catch the goddamn bus.
Jake don't even know how to catch the bus.
Right, I don't know how to get on the bus and go no damn well. Shit.
I mean, you should. It ain't hard, but I'm just saying, a lot of Jakes that live in the hood, they don't even know how to
navigate
catch the bus.
You know? So, first of all, how we in this condition, and how did these drugs come readily available to us to sell to our own people?
To a nigga that ain't never left the city limits. Yeah, it's Jake's right here, ain't it?
Jake took that shit and ran with it. Oh, shit, maybe if we get in the military, we start flying shit back in military slang. Man, you crazy.
I'm telling you, you can't do that. Especially in Thailand, I've been there. You can't leave out the first 3 streets. Like when you go visit, when I was there, go have fun or whatever, you can't leave out the first 3 streets because they don't have police over, they got mercenaries. So you leave off of there, they'll snatch you up and take you somewhere and sell you and hold you for ransom or something like that.
Right.
You know? That's a big thing over there, human trafficking over there.
Right.
So you better not leave. Man, talking about leaving, going to the jungle. Yeah, right, man.
So the point of the whole thing was, we're in the condition that we in because of Edom, which according to the scriptures is the so-called white race. Okay. And the so-called white race will have to pay for the iniquities of their father as a nation.
Come on.
Not 1 or 2 of them, not a handful of them. When we went into slavery, they didn't pick and choose. We had to go into slavery as a nation. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans went into slavery as a nation. We all went into slavery. It wasn't a few of us. We all went into slavery. So the so-called white people, as a nation, have to go into slavery as a nation. And right along with the so-called Africans, the so-called Arabs, so on and so forth. If they not of these people, they going into captivity. They will be subject to these people in the kingdom of heaven.
That's right.
They will be under our subjection. We are going to rule over them with a rod of iron. And whoever get out of line, they gonna get their skull cracked. And that's only fair. The Lord is just. That's balance. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. If you robbed and raped and murdered me and my people for hundreds of years, then the balance to that is I get to do it to your people. Double, according to the law.
Read it.
Go ahead, brother.
This numbers.
You about to read the law, but let me just make this point, because if you read when who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ came on the scene, he said, I know it's written in the law, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Basically, he say, don't it ain't supposed to be like that with your brother.
Right.
You know, the one that's on the same, the one that's doing the will of the Most High, that's your brother or your sister, your mother, your father. But to the other nation, that don't apply. Now I want to, clarify that. You know, the brother gonna read it in the law, and then you jump to the New Testament. Yahweh said it should be no more eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Right. But that was pertaining to the brotherhood.
Yeah, right.
You know, but not to these heathen nations.
Right.
It's Numbers 35 and 33. So you should not pollute the land wherein you are.
Right.
For blood it defileth the land.
Right, man.
And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein.
Right.
But by the blood of him that shed it.
Okay, read that again, brother.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you brothers had the scripture that's a law that say, you know, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, but that's my bad.
Right, it's right.
Numbers 35 and 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are.
Right.
For blood it defileth the land.
Blood defileth the land. So in other words, this land is defiled by blood of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. How was this land conquered? How was it stolen? By the bloodshed of these people. The so-called natives and the so-called Latin tribes was dwelling in this land before these so-called Europeans came over here and conquered this land. And how did they gain this land? By the blood of these people, by the blood of the children of Israel, man. And that's That's plain, man. That's common knowledge. Go ahead,
Hey, and real quick, man, and they was highly civilized.
Right.
Savages showed up on boats,
right,
seas ridden and starving to
right,
death.
Man. Because everybody know the story of Christopher Columbus and the Pilgrims. You know, the so-called well, I just say them people that came over here, them so-called Europeans, when they got here, man, they was about to die. Our people helped them to survive, man. They showed them how to make it here. And what was
good hygiene.
Taught them good hygiene, taught them how to live off the land. And what reward did the Europeans give to our people for helping them to survive? They put them to death and stole their land, raped their women, and killed their children. That was the reward for helping them to live. And now all of a sudden, I'm supposed to believe that the so-called white man done changed? Why? Because you can go fucking vote?
For a puppet.
Man, get the hell out of here with that shit. Our people don't think logically, man. They don't think analytically, man. They don't analyze stuff. Go ahead,
Numbers 35 and 33. So you should not pollute the land wherein you are, for blood defileth the land.
So the blood of our people has been shed on this land. So this land is defiled. Go ahead, bro.
And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein.
Right, unless.
But by the blood of him that shed it.
So the person that shed the blood, the only way this land gonna be cleansed is by shedding the blood of the one that did it in the first damn place, man.
That's right.
So guess what that means? You so-called white people, eat them, your blood got to be shed, man.
That's right.
That's balance. That's equal. Y'all talk about America being so just. Well, that's justice, baby. That's justice. That's balancing the scale back out. That's justice. But y'all don't want to hear justice because the justice of the Heavenly Father is your downfall. So you don't want that justice. But guess what? You gonna receive it.
I got two.
Okay. Go ahead, Jerry.
All right. First one is Job 4 and 8. Even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same.
That's right. Plain and simple. This is a place laden with iniquity. So guess what? You sowing nothing but iniquity when you pushing nothing but homosexuality and lies and deception. You're gonna reap that. It's a consequence for every action, man. And every account will be, you gonna have to pay the piper, man. Everything that's been done, you gonna have, everybody's accountable, gonna be held accountable for all their actions. Everybody. Me, you, everybody, man. That's it? Okay. What you go here, bro?
It's Isaiah 14 and 21.
Right.
Prepare slaughter for his children.
Right, man.
For the iniquity of their fathers.
Right, because the so-called white man, the first thing they'll pull out their ass is, oh, well, that was my great-grandfather. Or that was them. I'm not like that. It wasn't me. But you still living off, you still reaping the benefits of slavery. Y'all still reaping the benefits of slavery, man.
That's right.
Y'all got a 400 and something year jump on these people. That we'd never be able to catch up and be on the same playing field as the so-called white man. How many of these big high-rise buildings you think niggas, Mexicans, or Native Americans own, man? Not one.
The very companies that these corporate buildings represent was founded off of slavery.
Off of slavery.
All your major insurance companies was created to have insurance claims on your slaves, on the so-called white man's slaves, which was us.
Yep.
So your Aetna and all these major companies that y'all insurance companies, they was created to protect slaves.
Yep.
So if your slave died, ran away, you had an insurance claim on your slave.
Yep. This whole country was built off of slavery,
it's like
man.
having a property. It's like property, having insurance on your property.
Yep. That's right.
You remember when Donald Sterling was saying we have a system in place, where, you know, basically that bitch was, you know, taking them pictures with the niggas, and he didn't like that. He was saying like it's a system, you know. In other words, an unspoken thing that they have amongst that thing of theirs.
Right.
He was talking about white supremacy, man, which goes back to slavery. White supremacy, that's the whole system that got you niggas, man, and locked down mentally.
Yep.
You niggas that y'all feel inferior to the so-called white man. That's white supremacy.
Yep.
You know? And you see it's pushed on you niggas through your mama, and your woman keep you locked in that vibration of white supremacy. And watch a black woman how she talk to a white man and how she talk to you. She'll call you all kind of motherfuckers in a manly tone, a harsh voice, and she get around the white man and she be like, oh yes sir. And her whole, but she get feminine and soft.
She be afraid.
That's white supremacy. And it's a whole system that they been impressed on Jake since slavery. And Jake locked in that mindset. But the truth setting us free from that bullshit.
Right.
You know? Yeah, go ahead, bro.
This is Habakkuk 2 and 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith.
Oh shit. Read that again,
Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him.
Right, man. So-called white man's spirit ain't right at all.